Hi, I'm John from Just Whiskey. If you like this show, please give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. And consider becoming a Patreon with the link in the description below. Thanks so much for the Patreons that I do have that help support this channel. Much appreciated. And as a Patreon, you have access to exclusive Patreon reviews. And I just finished doing a special Patreon review of the brand new Springbank 12-year-old 2024. And yeah, batch 25. And what was the ABV on that? 57.2. So if you're a Patreon, hope you enjoy that. And I'm comparing it to some of my other favorite Springbank 12-year-olds. So check that out. But remember, folks, it's just whiskey. This is going to be an interesting review. For those of you that are standing in front of that glass case right now, looking at this brand new Lagavulin 12 special release, Diageo special release 2024, which is called Fireside Tales, and you see that pricey hefty price tag of $190, and you're saying, should I buy that? Before we get into the review, in case you don't want to watch all this, in my opinion, don't buy it for that price. Even if it goes on discount, don't buy it. This is not, I don't like doing negative reviews, but this is going to be a bit of a, Diageo rant and a review. But for those of you that are in a hurry, that's my take on it. Okay. The caveat is, as always, this is my opinion. This is my take on it. I think some other people will probably enjoy it much more than I am. And I've let this aerate. I've transferred it into another bottle to help it aerate and decanted it back in and left it open for a while and really played around with it to let the air get into it as much as possible. But this is going to be a real review. Okay, so stick around to the end for a disappointing score. Again, this is my opinion. This is just my take on it. If you bought it and you're enjoying it, kudos to you. Awesome. All right. So what we are reviewing is the brand new Diageo release, Lagavulin 12, and they're calling it Fireside Tales. It's a 750 milliliter bottle, and it comes in at 57.4% ABV. Like all of their releases, there's no mention of coloring or chill filtration. So here's where the little bit of the rant comes in. I believe all of them, right on the front label, it prominently states natural cask strength. Okay. Natural cask strength. So I'm not disagreeing that it's cask strength, but they are, I think, pulling the wool over our eyes by calling it natural. Okay. I don't know if they colored it, but if they did with caramel coloring E150, technically it's a burnt sugar. It's an industrial processed burnt sugar that's manipulated so much that it's a bit different than just burned sugar. But legally, I think, and legally, they can get away with calling something natural even if it has E150 in it because it's burnt sugar, burnt caramel, okay? But if they're calling it natural, that should mean that it's unadulterated, which means it should not be chill filtered. I previously reviewed the brand new Talisker 8, which I really really enjoyed. That's an and but what I the observation that I made with that Talisker is the same one I'm going to make here. Is that if you took out the color, these releases are crystal clear, and there is zero haze, zero sediment, and whatever bottle I drink, before I open it, I always turn it upside down and see if there's any sediment or haze or anything like that. And this year's Diageo releases have there's zero haze, zero sentiment, zero swirling, which m- makes me come to the conclusion that it's heavily filtered. Maybe not chill filtered, maybe it is chill filtered, but I think it is heavily, intentionally filtered to remove any discoloration or haze or sediment or anything in there, to make it bling, when the lights hit it, because it really does. It's shiny. It's just, and so, and the Talisker, even though that was done, I thoroughly enjoyed that Talisker. Okay, so I am being very objective here. That Talisker had great mouthfeel. This one, however, this Lagavulin 12, 2024, it is lacking mouthfeel. It is lacking viscosity. It is just downright stripped of most of its redeeming qualities. And you see the Lagavulin 8 over here. Towards the end, I'm just going to do a quick comparison with that. And that Talisker 8 that I was talking about is right here, which I really liked. And the Taliskers are almost always the least expensive of this Diageo special releases. And I'm a Talisker fanboy, and that this year's Talisker is one of my favorites, if not my favorite release. So you're saying, John, just get on with the review here. So you already it's not going to be good. So they're calling it Fireside, right? Fireside Tales. And yeah. Let's just get in with the review, and then we'll do some quick comparisons afterwards, because I am going to talk about the Lagavulin Offerman Charred Oak at some point in this, which I recommend buying that. Buy 2 or 3 of these over this. All right. There we go. So it's $190. The cask makeup of this is first and second fill ex-bourbon, but they don't say that it's like recharred or extra charred or whatever. But to me, it seems like they were. This is like drinking a campfire hickory smoked oak juice. That's what this reminds me of. All right, so let's get on with the review, and I'm going to be as objective as I can. Okay. On the nose, it's a nice nose. It's a sweet, smoked vanilla cream, and there are some fruits in the background. Okay, so the nose is inviting. I'll give it that. On the palate, it's thin, stripped of any and all oils and esters. It's thin. It's woody. This is an oak bomb. Okay, this is woody. It's like a sweet barbecue oak juice. Very spicy. Heavy smoke. Campfire. There are some fruits in there. Some peated fruits. A slight vegetal note. And there is that that trademark jalapeno note, and maybe even a little bit of spearmint. Okay, the finish. The finish is no more than medium. It's medium, and then it just drops off. You are left with some sweet fruitiness. Some sweet fruitiness. So it's a medium thin finish, sweet fruitiness, leading into a very dry, astringent, oak juice, woody, campfire, smoke bomb, oak bomb. If you have ever done barbecue at home and you soak your hickory and wood chips in water, and then you put that tray underneath your grill, and you start to smoke, and then maybe halfway through your barbecue, you might have to add some more water, and then maybe you'll pick up one of those hickory or oak chips and just like suck on it or lick it or whatever. This is what that is. If you like that woody oak, everything I've described, campfire, barbecue, no viscosity, no texture really at all, and a little bit of saltiness, at the end. Score-wise, for me, I've really put a lot of thought into this, folks. I really have, and taking money out of the equation. On the Dramfay scale of 1 to 10, a 5 is average, a 4 is some promise, and a 3 is disappointing. I am giving this a 3 out of 10. I am very disappointed in this, and what I'm going to do is just use it as I'm just going to use it as to top off like a Lagavulin 8, or if any Lagavulin I open, if I just want a little bit of extra smokiness or woodiness in it, that's pretty much what I'm going to use this for. Now, just a quick comparison to the Lagavulin 8, which is a quarter of the price. I can find Lagavulin 8 all day long for $50. For the sake of argument, right? So $190 for the Lagavulin 12. Let's just say it's closer to $200, right? If some states charge tax, you're going to be spending $200 for that bottle. You can buy 4 bottles of Lagavulin 8. The nose is more inviting. It's, even though it's 48%, you're getting some melon and fruits, and it's brighter. It's tastier. It's fruitier. The finish is about the same. It's a medium finish. And what I did here with this glass is it's about 2/3 Lagavulin 8 and 1/3 Lagavulin 12, the new one. That's probably what I'll end up using this for. Is I probably wouldn't even put 1/3 of it in there, to be honest with you. Maybe just a splash into some other things. Maybe over time, I just think it's been stripped of all its redeeming qualities. This could have been, if this was not filtered or chill filtered, which I'm convinced that it is, if it wasn't, it probably would be awesome, okay? But it's just so thin and nuded. I'm a big Lagavulin fan, and I've never tried the first Offerman release, but I had the Guinness, the Charred Oak, and then the newest one, the rum. The Guinness is my favorite, the rum is my second favorite, and the Charred Oak is my third favorite. You can still find these all over the place for about $80 to $90, maybe as close as $100, right? But so you could buy 2 of these Lagavulin 11 for one of these, and you'd be way ahead of the game. I thoroughly enjoyed this off of an 11-year-old. I reviewed it, so check out my review. Really no need to go into it anymore, but shame on Lagavulin for shame on Diageo for calling these things natural cask strength when it probably isn't. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And I did not pay that. I bought this, but I did not pay that much for it. I got it at a pre-sale. But you can still find last year's on the shelves. And no one was buying those at $170. And I think we're going to see the same thing with this one here. You're going to be seeing these sitting on the shelves next year. And at some point, they probably will discount them. And again, this is just totally my opinion, totally my take. If you're enjoying this, awesome. It's just disappointing for me. And I'll still be a sucker for the Taliskers, but I don't feel a need to be searching out for a future Lagavulin 12-year-old after what I can see in these. So there it is. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Throw the comments at me. This should be a doozy. Hats off to you all, and vote for the Oswas. Still open. oswa.uk.co. Remember, folks, it's just whiskey.